I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Outsiders. I'm your host, Sean Sims. Our co-host, superstar Doc Cheatham, I'm going to be giving him a call just a little bit and just a smidge. I want to go over DPW. DPW. What is going on? A worker has died on the job. Isabel Cumming. This is Baltimore City. Isabel Cumming, Baltimore City Inspector General. Scathing report. Subhuman conditions. Toxic workplace. Horrific. We had a rally yesterday, and wow, Wednesday the 28th, August the 28th, at Reedbird Avenue, that's Cherry Hill, DPW location, and I want to play this. I did an interview, I did a few interviews, and just in, because I just did an interview, I had to do it with him on the phone because of his schedule, but just in, DPW worker, just in, had a stroke while on the job. This is just in, and you'll be hearing about it. I did the interview with the man who had a stroke while on the job with DPW. But I'm going to play this. This is Ronald Stewart. He's a DPW employee, and I'm going to play his interview now.
I have come here to chew.
Yeah, we heard that already. There he is. Ronald Stewart. He didn't have the stroke on the job, but he has a lot to say.
I apologize. Come on, we want to get your whole story, and we don't want to interfere. That's not only Baltimore, and that's not.
And I interviewed him at the rally yesterday, and he's a DPW employee.
Not only Baltimore, we're talking about every city, every hamlet, every state, every municipality. You know, we're talking about every government, every department of every government where we've been forgotten.
How has AFSCME failed you?
AFSCME failed me by concealing the grievances, the workplace violence, the unsafe working habits.
Now he's saying that AFSCME is concealing grievances and workplace violence. We're right there at Reedbird Avenue, right in front of the DPW site, so there's some traffic going by, but you should be able to make it out. Let me continue.
Sir, I have documentation.
Okay.
I have written documentation.
Which workplace is this?
This is, I was transferred for filing workplace complaints from the water department, and they transferred me around the whole system. The superintendents and management are facilitators, and we have a lot of employees of Baltimore City that's a part of the system also. I'm talking about the negativity. And they're willing participants. See, the employees are what asked me. Once an employee get promoted to management or supervision, now they go with a different union called CUB. That's a whole different union. Okay. Now CUB take care of the management that continue the abuse and the harassment and retaliation and the unsafe and unjust working conditions of Baltimore.
Okay, so CUB, they, in your opinion, they're doing a good job?
Well, what I've heard with the management, because management and supervision don't have any issues, because they're the ones putting their feet down on the employee's neck to continue the harassment and the degradation of the rules and regulations in the collective bargaining.
Well, how long has this been going on with you?
I've been with the city for 13 years. I've been battling this for 7 to 8 years.
7 to 8 years?
Yes, sir. And I have written documentation.
I'd like to see it.
You can have my number and we can meet.
We can do that.
And I can show
do
you.
something outside of this too as well.
Okay.
So I can get you guys.
I have a video right now of the
Because my generation, we don't know that.
the president and the vice.
We just take our trash out. So we want to know.
We don't even know Local 44. We don't even know how she got elected as the president after Glenn Middleton because there was no election.
But what do you think about Patrick Moran?
Patrick Moran, he's a stiff too. I had to go over their head. Dorothy Bryant, Patrick Moran, Trevor Taylor, Arthur King. I had to get in touch with headquarters in Washington D.C. That's after 5 years. Now they want to reach out and have a conversation with me. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut in. I did call Dorothy Bryant to get her comments and haven't heard back.
Okay.
No, they're corrupt. They're corrupt. It needs to be a federal investigation on Ashley, Local 44, HR, DPW, EAP, and amongst a few other contractors of Baltimore City.
Have you heard of ASME having any issues with any other agencies or departments within the city, or just yours?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm only concerned with what I experienced and the degradation and the harassment and retaliation, because all of it is a cover-up. All of it is a cover-up. She gonna sit here and lie and say she's doing something. I have this woman on camera lying to me. Dorothy Bryant.
Now, he's talking about the president of Ask Me Local 44, Dorothy Bryant. He said she was not, this is what he's alleging, she was not elected. Again, I called to find this out. Hopefully she'll return my call, but I did leave a message for her.
She's the president of Local 44, Dorothy Bryant. Okay, so we don't really know how she got elected. There was no election. They just slid her in as a union president. There was no election.
How long would you say the treatment has been consistent?
Sir, how old are you?
34 years old.
As long as you've been alive, sir. And a lot of employees in Baltimore City, these are willing participants because supervisors and superintendents, they reward them with stolen overtime. They'll have this man do something to you to get you fired, and they'll reward him with stolen overtime.
And that's not the only agency that I've heard that does things like that. Employees against employees and squealing on employees, and they get rewarded for it. There are other agencies that within the city that do this as well, from information I've been receiving.
You understand what I'm saying? What slave wouldn't take that?
So by you putting this out there like that, do you think it's going to be repercussion to you?
I have no fear, so I have no fear. I have no fear. I have
There's
no
a lot
fear.
of people not speaking out like that.
Absolutely, because they're afraid. And you know what, sir? And I understand, because a large percent of the people are part of it.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
Management, supervision, and employees, and persons downtown that's in title positions, including the mayor and the union.
So this sounds like a cabal, basically.
A what, sir?
A cabal.
What's a cabal?
A cabal, it's a unit.
Yes. This is a well-oiled machine. This is like La Cosa Nostra, sir. This is a crime organization, sir. Need I say more?
You said a lot. Gentlemen,
Trying to link up. I really won't say his name, but we was trying to link. I think
That was some kid on a motorbike, popping wheelies, driving by, making all the noise. So I know people have hearing issues. Let me continue.
the supervisor here, and he just recently promoted to supervisor, but he was at another yard, and he found me, and we were trying to expose all of this and prevent all of this from happening. From happening with our grievances process with the union.
So he's talking about it was a supervisor and himself. They were trying to expose it, to stop all this stuff from happening. I'm going to continue.
So what would be some of the more frequent grievances that you would say that would be coming across? And that's not saying you would know specifically,
Right.
but just amongst the co-workers, that was the biggest complaints that y'all dealt with.
Workplace violence, unsafe work conditions.
You say workplace violence, and what? Attacking each other?
Fights, arguments, facts. Look up the situation with the co-worker that killed in Park Terminal. May 17th, the same day of my incident, the gentleman got shot at out in Edmondson Village while he's at work. This ain't just neighborhood stuff. Some of this is at work.
This is crazy.
And then when you're trying to report a workplace incident, you have some of the supervision and management. They don't want to do the report. They don't want to do the complaint.
So there's no investigation taking place?
Absolutely. It's a cover-up. Wow. Well, y'all go in the bathroom and handle y'all way, you know?
What?
It could be
Go to the bathroom and handle it your way. So what is this? Brad Pitt? Was it Edward Norton? What is this? Fight Club? What? This is insane.
We are there. If it's like that, y'all go ahead and go ahead.
Going back to the truck.
Boxing gloves.
No, man, ain't no boxing gloves. Do y'all have cameras in your facility? Yeah. Sir, I have documentation from 5 years ago when we requested the cameras and the paperwork of violation.
And were you provided those things?
No. Sir,
So if you
I was never answered from EAP, HR, or the union. I have documents requesting this, sir.
You know what it sounds like to me?
5 years ago.
And would it be a false stretch that it sounds like that you were sitting there, you and your other co-workers was in like an operating ring, especially, and didn't somebody mention like y'all, like, I had a history of being incarcerated myself, okay, but fellas and stuff like that. What it sounds like to me, it just sounds like they...
From a supervisor or a manager. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, which one is it?
So management is basically promoting the sellouts of other employees, co-workers against employees,
each other,
pitting you against each other.
and they reward them with stolen overtime. They reward them with stolen overtime. Or other favors. There's favoritism, there's nepotism, there's sexism, there's some of the workers, everything.
Harassment, retaliation,
There's extortion.
is that, would you say discrimination involved as well?
Extortion for overtime.
For overtime.
You see what I'm saying? Extortion for sex. For some of the females. Everything you can think of in a criminal organization is
Has anyone interviewed you or from the media to get your story, local
I
stations?
spoke with Fox 45 last week. I taken them some documentation. I spoke with Channel 11 today. This young lady right here. I've been calling radio stations. TV stations. I've been calling media outlets. I'm trying to get in touch with Thiru Vignarajah for representation. It is very hard to do the right thing in this corrupt town.
Yeah. It's very hard to do the right thing in this corrupt environment, in this corrupt city. And you have people, I'm getting ready to call Doc now, and you have people who are willing to say, hey, I've had enough. I'm going to, file against you. I'm going to go to the EEOC. I'm going to file a complaint. I'm going to go to an attorney. I'm going to file a lawsuit. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to defend myself, my rights, which I have a right to do as a U.S. citizen, to not be taken advantage of. And that is what people are doing. Doc, it's me. We're on the podcast. We're rolling. DPW. You had the event, had the rally. Of course, the outsiders in the house. Linda Batts.
That's not right. DPW didn't have the event. I had the event.
No, you had the event at DPW.
I had the event.
At DPW. I stand corrected. At DPW, the location in Cherry Hill, Matthew Henson Community Association, which you're the president of, and Linda Batts, president of Hanlon Improvement Association, Marsha Jews, WKIM, and so on. And with it was a who's who. We had Kobe Little, NAACP, Baltimore chapter president, which you were the president of once, and Thiru Vignarajah was there. Jason Rodriquez, Sharon Black, Leo Burrows. I'm going from memory. I'm not reading a script.
Are you kidding?
I'm going from memory. Kim Klasick didn't show up. Crystal Gonzalez, I wish she was there, but they were slated to speak as well. Probably had other things. It was hot. Wow.
They had all confirmed.
Okay, so we...
And I emailed them as well because, when someone does show, I don't assume it was poor business.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that they may have been ill, so
exactly.
I sent it to 5 of the people who didn't show to make certain. And it could have been heat because we were crazy for being out there ourselves.
Well, hey, I'll do whatever I need to do. Plus, I just came from Vegas not that long ago. It was 118 degrees, so that didn't bother me too much after the Vegas. But what's going on with and this is the thing, and I said this at the rally. I said this. We have been screaming about Baltimore City employees, the way they're being treated within the city limits of Baltimore, the horrifications that have been going on. We have been talking about it. We have been screaming about it. We've been letting people know, and it's warning, literally. I know something's really terrible going to happen. Something terrible is going to happen within this city with the way these employees throughout the city are being treated. And when I heard that what happened to this gentleman, Ronald Silver II, and the story, how he passed away, and what's been going on, Isabel Cumming, to her credit, Isabel did the investigation.
So far.
Yeah. And I heard about this, I said, I knew it. I knew this was going to eventually happen. Nervous breakdowns, physical breakdowns, mental breakdowns. That then we get to a place where people are dying. Doc, what's your thoughts on all this?
Well, I tell folks, a lot of people don't know how I got involved in civil rights, and it goes back to 1968. That was the year I was graduating from high school, and I was about to go into college that September. And on February the 1st of 1968, the national news was 2 sanitation workers got crushed up in a garbage compactor. They were, picking up trash, and it was raining, and they climbed into the storage area, and they both got killed. And of course, Martin Luther King was brought in, and of course, that's how he ended up losing his life in Tennessee, because he was there for the pickets. They had decided to strike, and I kept saying to myself, I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And it was because of that incident. Mm-hmm. February the 1st, 1968, they ended up going on strike, and there was the signs, I am a man. And those signs were made by the printer here in Baltimore City. The union that was there at our location, the guy who printed them was from ASME.
Wow.
It's the circle about this thing is odd. But I tell folks, that's how I got involved in civil rights. I say to myself, Marvin, you can't sit here and be retired, taking life easy, and not saying do something. I'm very disappointed that it took screaming and hollering to get the NAACP to come. I'm very disturbed that the National Action Network did not come. I'm disturbed that SCLC did not come. But I knew that was my responsibility as probably the oldest civil rights leader living here other than Leo, is I needed to do something, and that's why I ended up going to my community and say, we need to do this. I said, we wait for everybody else. Let's do this. NAACP not doing anything, and I laid Kobe out the day before he came to the event. I said, y'all need to be at this event.
Wow, and he was there.
That's a hard story, ain't it?
he was there. Christopher Anderson, who's running for office, city council, he was there as well.
We were supposed to have two other candidates.
Yes.
Klasik
and Shannon Wright.
Shannon Wright.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't show either. So I emailed them because, just because they didn't come, I don't just let that go. Something may have happened to them. So I emailed the 5 people. We had 20 people listed and 5 did not show, but I thought it may have been the heat. But I haven't heard from any of them yet, so I don't know what happened. But those are all my friends.
Wow. Was P.M. Smith there? I got there about 15 minutes late.
P.M. Smith really never confirmed that he would be there. He said if he could make it, he would, but I definitely didn't want him to come, and his name was not listed. So I was like shooting the dice, as the guy would say.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know whether he would be there or not there, but I couldn't have him there and his name not be listed. And hopefully with our next meeting, the third Tuesday in September, I've already reached out to him and his church because that's where I would like to have the meeting where we discuss and create the recommendations that we're going to make to federal, state, and city concerning this death. Well,
I got to mention Yolanda Pulley as well. Boy, she would get on.
Yolanda was there because I had invited Jason. She wasn't on the list because she wasn't one of those that was confirmed. But I was glad to have her there. And I welcomed her there. That I needed to let the other people know we're going to let all of you speak. I just need y'all to come up. Just don't come up and start speaking. I need to know who you are and who you're representing.
Well, you surprised me at the end. I did the closing remarks in prayer. I'm like, wait a second. Oh, Desmond Stinney was supposed to do those closing remarks.
No, he was supposed to do the closing remarks. The place was supposed to open with Marsha Jews. I had selected her because I think she's one of the best spokesperson to actually moderate.
She's excellent.
And after I told her to go ahead and open it, I said we need to have prayer after you open it. And James McGeechan was a little bit late in running, so I attempted to do the prayer, but I told folks I'm not a good prayer. So when McGeechan showed, I said, McGeechan, go back up and do the prayer. Give us a real prayer.
Oh, that's why you said that.
At the end, you were there because I said, I don't want people here. Here comes Doc Cheatham again trying to pray. He can't pray. When I saw you, I said, oh, he's a PJ. He's a pastor's son.
Yeah. PGK.
Great. That's right.
I
can't find nobody better than the pastor's son.
Oh, boy. Close enough. Grandson, but that'll...
Uncircumcised,
it was, but I was fine with it and I said my remarks and so on.
We were honored you were kind enough to do it.
And it just came in, like I told you prior, that I was going to interview Stancil McNair, who's actually the cousin of former Ravens quarterback and Tennessee Titan quarterback Steve McNair. Just in, Doc, I'm getting ready to play the interview so everybody can hear it, but I'm going to tell you first so that you hear it here before you even hear the interview. Just in, DPW worker had a stroke while on the job. There was a stroke. DPW worker had a stroke while on the job. And I'm going to let Stancil McNair explain what happened in this interview. So, folks, just give us a few minutes.
Breaking news.
It's breaking news, and it's gonna go out. I'm putting that out. Just in, DPW had a stroke while on the job. Let me go ahead and cue that up and play. Stancil McNair, DPW.
Okay, this is Sharon Sims, host of the Outsiders podcast, and I have with me, he's a DPW worker, situation that went on with Ronald Silver II and his death on the job, which was a horrific tragedy, and DPW with what they're doing with management and their supervisors. We're getting a lot of information, bad information about DPW, their toxic work climate, subhuman conditions, which is what the Inspector General, Isabel Cumming, reported on the facilities and what's going on there. And we have Stancil McNair, who is a DPW worker, who was also at the rally that was given on the 28th. And he has something to say about his situation. Stancil, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How you feel?
I'm doing well. We met at the rally, and you told me that you're the cousin of former Tennessee Titan and former Baltimore Raven quarterback Steve McNair. I said, okay, wow, because I'm a big Ravens fan, and Doc and myself are big Ravens fans. And you were injured at some point, and could you tell us the treatment that you received from DPW?
Well, I'm injured right now. I got injured April the 3rd.
Uh-huh.
And I've been receiving bad treatment since then from the supervision. And I mean in the form of, I was not allowed to lift no more than 5 pounds.
Okay.
I was only allowed sanitary duties, man. I had to sit down so they couldn't accommodate. So when you can't accommodate a worker, so put them out on 8 time. They did not do. What they did was make me sit in the yard. And they part these during the days when it's hot in the buildings with no AC. This before all this stuff went on.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to translate a little bit because it's a little hard to hear, understand, I guess, the line. But he's saying he was hurt and they made him sit in the heat all day, just roasting. So let me go on.
When I first got injured, before all this stuff got smooth, I had to sit in that building every day with my car to get AC. So on top of that, now they put me in a position where the only way I'm going to get paid by these my days, which I've been doing, I don't have no more. So they said that I can no longer come back to work until I have a doctor's note clear me, which is impossible because I just got my MRIs back showing that I got nerve damage. So the city can't give me back at full duty, which is my doctor telling them that I'm not ready for full duty, but they still bring me back at full duty. So now I'm sitting home and not going to get paid because of the circumstance. Because somebody messed up my paperwork some type of way. And there's been evidence of that because a week ago I was at Miss Isabel's Cummings office.
Okay. So you went to Isabel Cummings, you went to her office.
Yeah, I went to her office.
Okay.
Going on, I took her to her office and she seen how incompetent they was. Because I said right there, she emailed them about a piece of paperwork that my doctor's supposed to be signing. They sent my doctor some
Now, what he's saying is this. He went to Isabel Cumming. She went to Isabel Cummings' office. He went to the office. They messed up some paperwork. She's basically doing the job of DPW for his paperwork. So it's a little hard to hear or understand, but I'm just doing a little translation. So let me continue.
Paperwork for evaluation. But it was already filled out, so they said he wasn't going to sign it. So I let her know what was going on because to me, that looked the shape.
Who said that they weren't going to sign the papers that were filled out by your physician?
No. They sent my physician the evaluation paperwork filled out. Almost everything was filled out, so it was nothing for him to fill out.
Okay.
So he said he wasn't signing it, so actually it was a piece of document that was...
Wait, let me get this straight, because I should have asked. The doctor is supposed to fill out the certain sections, and they filled the sections in for the doctor? So the doctor says, I'm not signing it. Okay, let's continue.
Listen, so when Ms. Isabel Cummings researched in the email, Mr. Thomas Pointer told her he didn't know what the paper was. Now, inside of the page they gave my doctor office, they tell you that my doctor's supposed to be filling out a doctoral report or something like that. That part was not in it. Everything else was in it, except for that they were trying to just get signed off on it, but he refused to. So if he wasn't down to just sign off on stuff, I'd have been in trouble. So good thing he caught it. So through that process, Ms. Isabel Cumming kept asking, where's the paperwork? I sat in her office for almost 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to handle this for me. I'm talking Ms. Isabel Cumming's handling this for me, not the union, not HR. I'm talking Ms. Isabel Cumming is doing everybody's job.
Well, did HR do... What did HR do? I mean, they're supposed to, human resources,
unbelievable.
They're supposed to make sure that everything is done properly for the employee. And the reason, and here's the thing that people don't know, that people don't understand. Human resources is not, and I'm going to repeat this, human resources, anywhere you work, everyone understand this. They are not there for you. They are there to protect the employer. Now, what they should do is to make sure that the employer is not liable, or they're not out there doing things that's going to cause lawsuits that they're going to lose. So human resources are supposed to make sure everything is done correctly so that the employee cannot go and sue the employer and win. You see where I'm going with this?
Mr. Samuel, I'm ready to tell you something even more interesting to you. I went to hear research about the issue. Now the way it's set up is they give us a link, they give us a little call link this morning. You don't see nobody no more. They report your issue first, and then they let you know you're going to come in and speak to you. So if your issue with a supervisor or anything, once you report it, you can no longer have no more dealing with the investigation. They only can talk to your supervisor. That's what I was told by our permits to rights down her resource. They would not let me come into her resource.
So let me get this straight. If you report something, after you report it, you can't go back to human resources?
No, you can't call them and ask them when you gotta wait until the investigation over with, and you're not involved. Once you report it, they gotta figure it out between them and your supervisor. Okay, so this is very important now, because what you're saying goes against what I know of human resources, and that is when an investigation is taking place, the investigator, they're supposed to let you know who the investigator is, and the investigator is supposed to ask you questions and then go back to the other source, management, supervisor, whoever, and if they have another question off of their answers, come back to you. So you're supposed to be involved in the investigation as an employee making a complaint. Were you involved? Did the investigator ask you questions? Well, let me tell you what's been going on with me. 2 years ago, I was almost still. That's why they say home with me. I had a stroke on the road, and they covered it up.
You had a stroke at work?
I had a stroke at work 2 years ago, and they covered it up. And I'm going to tell you what they did. I had got to the road. Pain started shooting across my face and everything, so I called my mom, like, Mom, I'm hurting, like, I don't know where these pains come from. So she's like, you got your truck? Now, mind you, my crew here did not stop, so we was ready to stop. They was allowing us to go straight to our route.
He had a stroke while at work. Okay, now he's just explaining the crew and what was going on, but bottom line is, I'll continue, he had a stroke while on a job, working for DPW.
So I went from home straight to my route. I didn't have to report to the yard. So when I got here, my crew didn't start. They see me, heard me, they helped me up in the truck.
Unbelievable.
Pain started kept shooting my face, and I started crying. So I heard my mother witnessed, my driver, and Thiru Vignarajah, my witnesses. My mother said, she said, get the phone to my driver. Give it to my driver. Now, I'm having a stroke. I'm talking about, I'm really having a stroke. I'm trying to maintain myself, don't know what's going on, so all the symptoms just come at one time. So my mother told her to call the yard so they can get somebody to come up to help me. And Ms. Lori Moore told Ray Shawn, who's my driver, why I come to work today.
Did you go to the hospital at all after this?
Listen, I'm ready to tell you what happened. So Ray Shawn is telling her that something's really bad when he's crying and everything. She sucked her teeth and said, well, he shouldn't have came to work shit. So I snatched my phone away, got out the truck while I'm having a stroke.
So he's saying that the supervisor said you shouldn't have come to work while he's having a stroke. Let me go on.
And I cussed her out. I told him y'all dirty rat motherfuckers. Excuse my language. But that's the word I said to him. I got on the truck, I fell down by the gate, and I called the ambulance myself.
And okay, let me ask you this question. Okay. At the time you were having the stroke, were you on the clock for your job?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My phone.
Okay. Did you go to the hospital?
Yes, I did. The ambulance picked me up from off my road.
How long?
Yeah.
How long ago did this happen?
Almost like 2 years
ago. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you after we get off the phone or later today, and go over this with you, because that's a very, very, very serious situation. To go over with you, and I may have some folks talk with you on that.
Yes, I do.
Because that's serious. And
nobody else want to take it serious. That's what I'm saying. That's why I came on, so I was speaking, because I seen the potential rules very high.
Did you?
Then they just said nobody took him serious. The man's having a stroke. No wonder the guy died. Ronald Silver, they let him die on the job. Because they don't. I've never heard anything like this. This sounds like something out of the Dr. Zhivago.
That's the sad part about this. I was bringing attention to all this 2 weeks before that man died. Maybe more than 2 weeks, like 2 weeks and some change. To the point my mother and my family tell me, like, you need to do this. I'm like, no, these people ain't right. I'm exposed. I started exposing them 2 weeks before that man died, and then that man died.
Did you file a complaint of any kind?
I went to the hearing and talked to Ms. Dorothy Bryant and tried to.
Oh, really? You did? Oh, okay. So let's.
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Okay.
She kept telling me I need more evidence, and like my family, they watched me through the whole process. She told me I need more evidence. I was like, why I need more evidence over 20 years of evidence? And so I came back. I went down there 2 days in a row.
So Dorothy Bryant. She's the. I gotta let my audience know who she is. Dorothy Bryant is the president of Ask Me Local 44. She's the president of that union, and you went to her, and she said you didn't have enough. How much evidence do you need to have? What is that's insanity to me. That's crazy.
Yesterday y'all didn't pay attention. It's so sad that this how terrible it is. When that lady seen yesterday, she asked me why I didn't bring these issues to her. That was totally disrespectful for her to ask me that. Whereas I done came to y'all so many times, I used to get cheap shot stories, and we used to talk about these same issues, and you want to talk about why I didn't come to you with these issues first?
And
she honestly asked me when I was down at her, she honestly asked me when I was down at her office, and if I'm going to do something outside of anything with them, let them know first. I don't want to have to let you know that first, because y'all don't work with us. I'm not letting you know that first. My whole purpose is coming in to see how you going to help me. Once I see you wasn't going to help me, I move without you.
So do you have the date of when you went to see Miss Dorothy Bryant?
I got everything written down, so I'm driving right now, so I have everything going.
Okay.
I'm going to get all the dates and everything.
I'm going to talk to you after we get off the interview later today and go over some things with you, but this is serious.
Yesterday, if you paid attention, when Ms. Dorothy Bryant had the asked me came there, that's why I said this issue is beyond administration HR. This is our union chief to be speaking about. All three of them together, it's been harming us. So, yesterday, after I spoke, Ms. Dorothy Bryant was afraid to go up there and speak after me because she spoke after me. The idiot man that asked me had to closer on to what to say.
He's saying that Dorothy Bryant was afraid to speak yesterday at the rally, and well, let me continue. What else he has to say?
He is never prepared for no situation.
Who coached her?
The head asked me, I was his name. I don't even know the man's name because we just meet him. Like his name Pete, whatever his name. He asked me. I'm married.
Patrick Moran.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the truth because a reporter had her cameraman told me and said, you know he over there coaching her what to say about what you just said. I said, are you serious?
Which reporter?
Dory.
Yorgie?
Yeah, her cameraman. Her cameraman came up to me and told me that. This is the gun on the truth. And he said, watch them, man, they shady. That's what I tell you what we dealing with. They dealing with you don't care. They don't know what they do.
So Tori Yorgie, allegedly of WBAL, I guess, peeped him on what was going on with Dorothy Bryant, speaking of Patrick Moran, because she didn't know what to say, and he was coaching her on what to say, and they let Stancil McNair know, hey, look, this is what's going on with this Dorothy Bryant person. Watch your back.
And not engaging. So we're dealing with a bunch of people that's not engaging us. These lives on the line. And nobody's not engaging us properly. Except for the community. Y'all at the community, y'all the only ones that have been engaging us, has been supporting us. Whereas though this administration get paid to make sure we have certain things done. They get paid for us to get the check in so many ways. It's failing us. And so many levels, like all of them need to be blew up and start all over again. From the administration down to the union, HR, all of them, it's like all they do is when one of them get in trouble, they move them to another department. With us, if we get in trouble, we get fired. There's a big difference. And that's what I've been saying yesterday. None of them don't get recommended. They don't get in trouble. They just get moved. With us, if we get in trouble, we lose our job.
So, do you know if anyone, or have you spoken with the EEOC to file a formal complaint with the EEOC?
No, sir.
Okay, well, again, I'm going to talk with you later, because these are definitely EEOC filing complaints. The federal government should be involved in this. The Maryland Commission on Civil Rights,
Oh, here we go.
that Alvin Gillard
Tell the truth.
is absolutely no good.
Crap.
I mean, I have the document, I have the receipts. So he's dirty. He's corrupt. I have the receipts on that. But the EEOC, they have their issues as well. Charlotte Burroughs is the head of the EEOC, and Rosemary Rhodes is the Baltimore director. I got some issues with Rosemary Rhodes.
Yes, I do.
So, but I will say this: your best option right now for the workers at DPW who are having issues, they can go to the EEOC. Were you advised at any time by anyone, or do you know of anyone there who was advised that they could go to the EEOC? Oh boy, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they don't tell us stuff like that.
They don't tell you that.
There's no resources. Like when stuff go on, we just deal with the supervisors. They handle everything. They make determinants of everything. They decide what's going on. It ain't us. We don't have no protection. We don't have no forms of protection.
And they don't. Do they have an EEO officer or a compliance officer other than human resources? Human resources actually is supposed to let you know that if you have a complaint that you can go to the EEOC, and you're saying no one told you that.
No one told me that.
Wow.
Bombshell.
Well, this is what I'm going to do, Stan, because I want to have a second part to this interview, and I know you have to run, but I want to talk with you later on after this. And this is, again, Sean Sims, host of the Outsiders podcast. Just had my interview. This is the first part. We're going to have a second part with Stancil McNair. He's going through it. Actually, we just found out, and this is new. He actually had a stroke almost a few years ago on the job. Almost lost his life on the job. So this is not the first time with Ronald Silver II where someone was ill to a point of having a heart attack, a stroke, heat stroke, a possible death imminent situation. And Stancil, I'm glad you made it through and you're here. I tell you that. And we're going to do a second part, but I'd like to thank you for the time you've given us, and Outsiders in our audience would like to thank you.
I appreciate you.
Okay, Stancil, take care, and we'll talk later. Bye-bye.
Wow, bombshell. It was one bomb after another.
Don't let him get on the speakerphone. Let him go directly to the phone, because the sound was real bad, but you could hear it. But I think he was on speakerphone.
Yeah, I gotta correct that next time. That's why we're doing something.
The information was alarming. And what I heard today on WBAL, sorry I had to give those call numbers, but on that radio show today, they interviewed the Inspector General, and she wrote the report almost 2 weeks before our his life and gave things and recommendations of things that needed to be done, and they were not done. Sean, they were not done. She wrote recommendations on things that needed to be done, and they ignored it.
Yeah,
this was before his death.
That increases their liability substantially. I'm just that.
So it's no wonder that
wow.
the mayor hired a Washington D.C. firm that's against employees and organizations that represent employees because he's trying to cover his butt. The city is in great trouble on this one. They are in great trouble. The fact that Inspector General wrote a report 2 weeks before our gentleman lost his life, and they didn't do what she asked.
They didn't do it. So the liability rate increases substantially.
Sean, excellent job, excellent. And he was the guy who evidently tapped me on the shoulder and said he needed to talk. I'm glad he came and wanted to, but he wasn't one of the speakers at City Hall.
I didn't go to the City Hall when I couldn't make that, but I definitely had to make this.
Man, we were there for 4.5 hours, man, at City Hall. I'm still saying, Marvin, I don't believe that you stayed there that long. I don't believe I was there that long. 4.5 hours.
Well, I mean, for a cause like this, you know, sometimes you get so ramped up that you don't even realize the time because you're so focused.
And that's, Sean, excellent observation. I had no idea we were there that long. And half of the information was not informative. Half of the city council was not there. Of course, this was a committee hearing. So, you know, there's only about 5 or 6 people on each committee. But the fact that the other ones were not there to hear that hearing, unless they were in their offices or on television. But the fact that no city council person was there yesterday, people need to be raised, and now they are fighting to make certain, including Kobe Little with the NAACP, he's siding with the city council. None of them were there yesterday. That's a total insult.
Well, we already called it with the city council that they're, you know, useless, soulless, a waste of space. I could go on with the city council. I already said they were gelding, and they're proving me right over and over and over again. I wish they wouldn't prove me right. I wish they would prove me wrong in my analysis of the Baltimore City Council. But they don't prove me wrong. They prove me right over and over and over again. Yes, there should be 8 members. Okay? And back to Stancil having a stroke while he's on the job, while he's on the clock.
Did he see someone medical and they told him he had a stroke?
Yes, he said he went to the he went to the hospital.
And he said it was a stroke?
Yes.
Okay.
He said they said
you doing some real good observations and reporting here. This is interesting. Now, has he contacted Vignarajah or some attorney?
Thiru, I believe Mr. Royal Stewart was trying to contact Thiru, and I'm going to be talking to Thiru about that, but he didn't.
He needs to stop talking at this point. Share with you what he has, but he needs to be careful because we don't want him to be saying one thing and they have an audio and he says something different. He needs to, at this point, go get an attorney and do it before this weekend is up, and try not to talk so much, because one of the things they will attempt to do is to get him mixing up in his words to try to distort that he did, in fact, was told that he had a stroke. But this is vital information here, Sean. It really is.
Definitely, I agree with you wholeheartedly. That's why I wanted him. I let him know I'm going to talk with him, you know, later today, and go over that with. We can do a 3-way if you like, because that's a bomb. That's bombshell information. That means that you had at least one person within the last few years who had a dire situation of death while on the job. He survived the stroke. And how many, my question is, because it begs the question, it screams and begs the question, how many other people have been in a situation of near death while on the job at DPW and it was covered up? How many times has this happened? Ronald Silver, they couldn't cover it up. Like Thiru said, they got caught with their britches down. So they couldn't cover it up. He died while on the job in front of somebody's house. So they can't cover it up. But how many other situations similar to Ronald and similar to Stancil's have happened?
Mary Hughes wrote an issue to Councilman Cohen's office, and she indicates, quote, and I'm quoting this, Ms. Cummings has already documented the conditions. Why not meet with the DP sanitation workers? Had several hearings for the workers to give you the real deal. Follow up with the agency. Please talk with the frontline workers. Hear those who are being treated with no respect. Quote unquote, this is coming from Mary Hughes, and of course, because of her fall earlier, she did not, and she made a wise decision not coming out in that heat yesterday. But this is a clear indication that the Inspector General did have due diligence. He did it in an extremely quick fashion, but for the city to not really comply with the things that she wrote and she put it in writing. That's what I don't know why there were so many people there at that hearing. I don't know why I kept thinking you were there. I handed to the members of the city council on that committee, there were 6 of them, I think. I handed them the printed document coming from the Inspector General. She wrote a report, and I gave them a copy. I got the copy sent to me, and I gave it to them when I did my testimony to tell them that this thing was reported on 2 weeks before he lost his life. And y'all didn't do nothing. And I blame the city council as well.
First of all, it's highly irresponsible to not have done anything. I read the letter Mary sent to Zeke and what Zeke sent to Mary. I went over that as well. Yes, I went, and Mary...
Yeah, I had to sit down in my chair. I was standing up reading. I had to sit down there. I thought I was going to fall down. I said, all the things that should have been done were done, and the city council still didn't do anything.
Nope, Mary was spot on. Zeke, listen to me. I might give him a call. Isabel did all that. She did her due diligence. So you going down there to look, just read the report, man. Come on. Don't read the report. Stop stalling. Stop stalling.
Matter of fact, he was one of the council members that was there.
Yeah, he's stalling.
And I handed them the report. Now, I don't mind telling you, a very, very prominent minister is the one who gave me the copies. And I gave it to the city council, and I gave it to ASME. I gave it to the employees. I must have given them 35 flyers, letting them know that we were having this event. These people have dropped the ball between the city council, the mayor, the union. Yes, I'm talking about ASME. I really think the employees need to petition the NAACP, the NLRB. I used to work for the NLRB, and they need to get a new election. They need to decide whether or not they want union representation, because they are not being properly represented. No. I know why the president was upset, and the guy didn't have any reason to curse her, and she didn't have any reason to curse him back. But the feelings are hot. And it was hot outside. It was very hot. It's like 105-degree heat index, but... And we were on the... And look, I feel bad. Folks told me when I first got there, Doc, you need to go on the other side where it's shady. I said, the workers aren't doing their work in the shade, are they? I said, we're going to be in the hot sun. Yep. And that's where we were. We were in the hot sun because it was shady on the other side. I didn't have any problem with it. And I agreed, hey, you know what? They have to take the heat for us. They're collecting our trash. They're working under horrific slave-type environment. It's a plantation type environment. Looks like a prison. We got to talk to Mary, but to Linda, because I think the idea coming from Alex was excellent. we want to spend a few dollars and we want to get some trash can stickers and put them on trash cans and just kind words that we want to say to the garbage sanitation workers. I thought the recommendation from Alex yesterday, I think we need to implement it. I think we need to put those on the trash cans and the recycle bins and say, thank you, sanitation workers.
I think we should say just that, and I think we also should add, that's just my little 2 cents, that we support you. We're behind you. So that they know, wait a second, these people support us, they know what's going on, and they support us being in a work environment that's going to be humane. That's the fair, humane, and a rotating system, develop a system where somebody's not working like a Hebrew slave. That's how I felt when I was mowing the lawn the other day in this heat. I was mowing the lawn. I got enough grass to mow, and I told my wife I felt like I came in the house drenched, soaked. I said I feel like a Hebrew slave, and the way they're working these people, and the environment, and it's horrific. It's terrible. This should be national news. What's going on here in Baltimore, and I believe that the spotlight, a big, huge spotlight, bright, should be put on the mayor, should be put on Mr. Khalil Zaid.
That's his name. I gotta get used to saying his name. I guess I'm so upset, but yes, he's only been there 5 months. We have to understand that.
Well, he better get his act together quick.
I'm not giving him a pass, but I do.
No, I'm not either.
We got to realize that. But the fact that we've had unions and city council people are serving their second and third term, and I'm just real appalled. And maybe you can find out. You're a great reporter. Maybe you can find out why wasn't the city council there. They were all sent 3 separate emails with the flyer announcing the event.
Because they were scared. Because they're scared. It's a cabal system that's set up that's within Baltimore. Royal Stewart, a DPW worker, he called it right. It's a machine that's set up, and they're a part of that machine. So for them to go against the machine, because I rage against the machine. It's for them to go against the machine, the city council people. They just don't have the cojones because they're geldings. They're not there for their district. They get elected, but they're not there for the people. They're for the machine. So that's what you have going on. So you have to fight it.
Are they called DPD workers, or are they called more some sanitation workers? I know I need to send this to my artists before I go to print. Do we say love you DPD workers, or do we say love you sanitation workers?
I would just say DPW workers. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to have her do a design, and then I'm going to go to my printer and see if, matter of fact, I might go to a black printer and see if they would donate these stickers. We want trash can stickers.
I think that's a fantastic idea, Alex. When he came up with it, I'm like, that's smart. I like that. As soon as he said it, I go, that's good. That's a good idea. Let them know we support them. And we have to do our due diligence as far as, basically, this is going to be a legal battle. I mean, this is going to go to court. Thiru Vignarajah, you've got the right guy. Wow. The BG&E knows it. Go to court, and there are going to be lawsuits. I believe, this is my personal and professional opinion, that you may have folks there who have not just one, maybe multiple suits. You've got a situation where DPW in the city of Baltimore.
Go to EEOC, though.
Yes, you do. Yes,
get this documented.
Documented with EEO. I'm gonna have some conversations with some folks in Thiru, and you of course, and Linda. You know, we're gonna talk about this, and we're gonna put together a game plan. We're gonna game plan this out, and I'm going to utilize my skill set to help. And I'm sure you, Linda, Thiru, who's the man, he knows what to do. and some others, Mary as well, and Marsha. Well, we'll get others to do that.
Do you think there are individuals and representatives of groups that we need to bring on board? We had 20 listed speakers yesterday. 5 did not make it. No, I think 7 did not make it.
Yeah, it was more than 5, yeah.
But then we ended up having 15 speakers because I'm looking at the list of people who actually talked. But there are about 30-some people that I have notified about the next meeting we're having. I wanted to have it on the 15th of September, but that 15th I wanted to have the meeting at P.M. Smith's church, but the 15th is a Sunday, and I would not insult him by asking that he allowed me to have a meeting there at his church on the 15th. But the reason I wanted the 15th, because that was when the 4 little girls, this happened in 1963, September the 15th. 4 little girls got bombed. I remember them because I say their name is AC/DC, Adelaide, Denise, Cynthia, and Curl. That's how I remember their names. They were the exact same age as me. And these were the beginning things that I started seeing as a civil rights person, what actually happened. So I wanted to have it on the 15th, but we're going to have it on the 17th, which is my normal community day, because Matthew Henson is taking the lead on this. We're going to have some excellent players that come and help us. But some organization that has a good reputation need to be behind it. And I can't think of anyone other than the largest community in Baltimore City, which is Matthew Henson. So we're going to get these stickers. I'm hoping I can get these trash can stickers done by the 15th. I'm quite certain I can do it sooner. But I'm sending to the artists that I use to design it. And then I'll go to 2 printers, one black and one white, to see who will print them. I'm going with the one who gives me the no cost or cheapest cost.
Well, I hope it's no cost for the cause to say, hey, look, there's a situation here. These people are being treated inhumanely. And from one of the folks told me, because I asked him, I believe it was Stancil, I asked him, have things changed? And he said, no, it's still the same. They're still doing. This is after Ronald Silver's death. He said they're still doing the same thing. Nothing's changed. I said, what? Nothing's changed? He said, nothing's changed.
We got to get the employees to come forward. We got to get EOC, and of course, Linda is the head person communicating with EEOC. We did meet with them. I'm disappointed that they weren't there yesterday, or at least they did notify us that they were there, or me or Linda, but Linda is the head on that issue. But we need these employees to come. And as Mary wrote, we don't need the employees to be threatened, but we need them to go and make the report to EEOC. We got to come when we have this next meeting. We got to have as much information, or as they would say, we need to have as much ammunition as we can. But there are 9 issues that we would look at. We're asking folks to write 50 words or less. The recommendation that you have, if we use your recommendation, we will give you and your organization credit for the recommendation coming from you. But we want to bring all these different minds together and let us do on this collectively what the city council is trying to cover their butts on, because that's what they're going to do. But we're not worried about what they're doing. We know what is happening to these employees because they work in our neighborhoods. You know, I told Linda, I probably should have said, I said, you know, the bourgeois, the folks in your neighborhood, they're not garbage collectors. I said, but my garbage collector, they live right across the street from me. So, you know, the neighborhoods that they live in, we are the people that talk and see them every day. You know, but what I do know is the garbage workers do not service their own areas, so they don't have conflicts, you know, dealing with trash and neighbors fussing with them. My understanding is that the sanitation workers had to work in another community, not their own. But I'm so pleased that you've done what you're doing, because this is what we're going to need. And I wish we had more reporters that would do what you do, especially those that got podcasts and radio shows. And I know that there will be a radio show today at 4 o'clock, and I hope somebody asked Larry Young the question on air: where was the National Action Network?
Yeah, where were they? And here's the thing. Okay, having a podcast and not working for a station per se gives me more freedom.
You got
so
attitude, yes.
I can do what I want. So I don't have somebody, a boss, that, hey, you know, the owner said this and they don't like this, and then sponsors are going to pull and all that other stuff that goes along with it. And I've been on that side, so I understand really well. No, I don't have to have a podcast. This baby is mine. I put it together. I don't have anybody telling me, Sean, you can't go over here because you're going to ruffle feathers with this organization, or you can't say this about this city council person. Oh, yes, I can, because it's my podcast. So I have more leadway to do that, and I think because of that, Stansel felt comfortable with telling me that he had had a stroke while on the job working for DPW, and they covered it up. They covered it up. Now it's going to be known, and like you said, we got to, you know, have him talk with an attorney, kind of keep hush-hush off of that, because you don't want to say any more, because they will use anything you say that's a little off-kilter against you. So we have to do that, and I'll make sure that Linda speaks with him as well. But everyone, this has been a great show. And the EEOC, of course, got to get with them. But Doc, thanks again.
Thank you for your due diligence and shaking the things up, because that's what we need to do. We're going to know that the city's going to do their thing to cover their butts. The city council, even though 6 of them need not come back, we need to make certain they don't become council people. But we got to do what we do as community people. We got to come together as quickly as we can. We're meeting on the 17th, which is the third Tuesday in September at 6 o'clock. I'm hoping it'll be at a church. If not, I'll have it at my park. But we're going to meet, and we're going to design the recommendations that we're putting in writing to all these different state and city agencies and the elected officials. We're going to have a document that's going to say what the community feels we should do. The council is going to tell them what should be done. The mayor's going to tell them. But we as fellow residents who work with these sanitation workers are going to create a document. We're going to create our own document.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. I, of course, will be a part of it. I'll put my 2 cents in, like I do.
You put a nickel in.
But I tell you what, all you out there, the outsiders, we're coming, okay, unbridled. So Sean Sims is going to be sending you emails. I'm going to be talking to you. I'm going to be giving you a call, and make sure that you do the right thing, because the outsiders, and God, even more importantly, God is watching you. Okay, everybody, take care. And Doc,
great job as usual.
Great job too, Matthew Henson. Way to go, Doc. And I'll take care. I'll talk to you later.
All righty.
That's another episode of The Outsiders, but you all have to go. And anyway, The Outsiders will do what we got and what we always do. Everybody, take care. God bless.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.